All right. Hello, hello. Welcome to the podcast. I'm here with Emily Ann Banks, the writer, actor, director, producer. Today we're going to focus on her comedic memoir, Open. One second. Boom. There's Open in the flesh. It's about her dating life from kindergarten through college. It was published on August 9th, 2018 through Amazon. What can I say? It's a nice, quick beach read. I read it in 2 sittings. And Emily, just so you know, at the end of the introduction, you wrote, before you read this book, listen to Dancing on My Own by Robin. And I did. In fact, I probably played the song on repeat for like the first 40 pages.
No way.
Because when you read that, you read the first chapter of you getting two-timed by that kindergartner in the playground. I just thought if it were a movie, it would be like that scene and then like boom, credits, Dancing on My Own by Robin.
Have you ever heard of that song before?
No.
Or no?
I'm truly glad I read this book.
Solely for that purpose, just to be introduced to Dancing on My Own by Robin, because it's honestly, not only does it sum up the book, it probably sums up like 95% of the majority of the entire world, I think.
I think you're right.
I think I'm right.
Absolutely. Sometimes now now that the world is opening back up, I'm going to go to a club and I'm just going to wonder why they're not playing that one song the whole entire time.
You have to go and just yell at them and request it, because sad girl club, sad girl, sad boy club.
Oh man.
It's real.
I would love to join the sad girl club. So just for a little backstory, you and I met in 2015 while doing a production of Much Ado About Nothing for White Plains Performing Arts Center. A lot of talent in that group. You're all very welcome to make cameos and so on and so forth if you catch this. All right, so I love the title, which you can interpret in many ways. I thought it meant trying to be open to new experiences. For Emily, it actually meant that all of her relationships were actually open relationships. She just didn't know about it. Emily, how are you doing now? How are you doing?
Oh, Will, do you know what's so funny? So the last time we talked, it's very fitting, honestly. The last time we talked, some hot tea for you. I just broke up with my boyfriend last week. Can you say I haven't changed one bit since kindergarten? How fitting was it? Like, it's just perfectly fitting. But
you broke up with him though.
Yes, which honestly is, thank you. Like,
yeah.
I think for the longest time, I've just been in this like pattern of, unrequited love and other people, wanting to use me for the sake of somebody else. And when I got this person, I got him.
Your face.
Score one, motherfucker. I don't know if we can curse on this podcast, but I'm heckin' doing it.
It's a loose rule. That's
a loose rule.
Yeah, it's a loose rule.
We'll see. But yeah, I think with a mix of different, realizing certain patterns that I'd had and people pleasing and all of that good stuff, it became a cocktail of destruction. And so I think it helped just kind of like look at these experiences and be like, that's not in my narrative anymore. And then the sign, like the first sign of anything even remotely wrong, now I'm like, okay, I might give like this person one chance, but not like 15.
Well, I gotta be honest with you. So like when I was in college, I used to hear stories from my women friends of them just like destroying men. like reading like your account of dealing with men, I was just like, these guys are dicks.
And like, I think also, not to blame like the theater community on anything, but like just the people that I was picking in my specific circle. Will, I am nowhere near blaming any other specific theater community, just my own.
It's a weird community, I think, in any region, let's put it that way.
Yeah, because like it's emotional work, obviously, and
yeah,
when you get attached to somebody and you're being open and vulnerable, and you trust people way easily, because everybody else is kind of on that same plane, and it's like, okay, like let me jump, let me take the leap. And I think that becomes not dangerous, but it opens up the door for all of that stuff to arise.
I mean, obviously I get what you're saying. If you do one theater production, you pretty much know what's going on. But like, I do actually remember one time in college, I had a pretty like heavy like romantic short drama to do, like a one act. And like, I was honestly, it was like the reverse. I was like, wow, there's really nothing. Like, there's nothing here. I literally just like pretend to like her, and she does the exact same thing.
So you acted.
Yeah, we
did
actually
a great
acted.
job.
Yeah. Like, and at the end of the day, we would just be like, okay, like, see you later. Like, like really, like, not even friends. Like,
you were like, this is my profession, and you are my coworker.
Oh, if only. Yeah, big time. Yeah, right. All right. So, all right. I want to start right off the bat with one scene that stood out to me in particular, where you and your friends go out for a wild night at a rooftop bar in New York City. Your friend Alyssa, who is named Alyssa in the book, meets a guy, gets along with him, gets his number, kisses him, comes back to your group, tells everyone, right? Everybody celebrates. You describe giving her bro pats on the back. Alyssa goes back to find this guy. She looks for him for maybe 2 minutes, gives up. Then much later in the night, you find the guy, but Alyssa is busy, so you make out with him instead. How often does this happen in your group of friends?
So, which is so funny. I'm actually living with Alyssa right now, which is so funny. Cool. That you picked this story specifically. But man, oh man, and honestly, it's a testament. Me and Alyssa specifically in our group of friends, if we are alone, we get into trouble finds us. We don't seek out the trouble. Trouble finds us.
Yes.
And I don't even think I put it in the story, but there's another kind of scene of me and Alyssa where we were introduced to these group of guys, and we kind of made out with each of them, and then we swapped. And then later on, we found out through weird circumstances that they turned out to be convicts. And we didn't know they were going under the alias of Nick and Joe, the Jonas Brothers at the time. Okay. And so Lord, we didn't know. But to answer your question about kind of this tomfoolery, it really does find me. I don't go seeking out for it. I think it just in the happenstance of like, it was our night out on the town, like it was Alyssa's 21st birthday. It just so happened that we hooked up with the same person who wasn't even like remotely any sort of standard to us, like to put
he wasn't plainly. Good enough. I'm just saying that we both made out with him.
Like, no, it was purely a hookup scenario. His name in the story is Nima, and it was actually Nima, which I found interesting. Great. I've never heard of another person being named that.
So you're using someone's very specific real first name.
Just, will he ever read the book? we'll see.
I
I
don't know.
don't
I think
know.
that should be your new goal. Just rock the publicity on this until he has to read the book.
Oh man, if
Just like
only.
I'm in there.
If only.
If
I
only.
I wish, like, imagine he accounted like that night like differently or something, like of,
Oh, I'm
like
sure he
he's
recounts it
holding on. He's holding
differently.
on to it. He's like, I hooked up with 2 girls that
Yeah,
night.
I do. I
Yeah.
wonder. I wonder if he's like I hooked up with. If it's just if it just goes to like I hooked up with 2 girls, or like I hooked up with 2 girls. It was awesome. I hooked up with 2 girls. It was like what? I was like what? And then I'm with this girl, but then I was with that girl, and that was cool.
Ooh, but man, oh man, I mean, do I regret it? Yes. Would I change the memory? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No,
Because man, oh man, it was just a sweaty
it
experience.
was a happening.
It was a happening. It
Yeah.
was, a sticky one, but I enjoyed it. It's for the story.
I gotta tell you I really if I'm rating the sticky moments in your book,
Sticky.
I gotta give it up for the Derek chapter. I was like, wow, slick move
Oh,
with the ice machine, Derek. Not
God
bad,
damn it,
Derek.
Derek. Not bad, Derek. Not bad. I'm like thinking of because I'm an inconsistent writer. Some people have some
I
names
think
have
you're just a
changed.
writer. Sorry, go on.
I'm just a writer. Some names have been changed and some are not. But now I was like, Derek, yes.
Okay, good.
But
Yeah, I was
yeah.
actually gonna be like Derek too, just like his real name.
Coming for blood. I'm like, yeah, Derek. Yes, suck on that. Yeah, no, he man, he
No, don't
uh
tell me about the real Derek. I don't want to know about
I
the real Derek.
okay, okay,
This
okay.
is a
What do you
fantasy. This book
what
is a fan. You know, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
uh I was
All
like
right,
thinking
all
of
right.
what
So I'm gonna
profession.
throw out some lines from the book. I want to see what you can remember about those moments, and also what it was like to put them on paper. Are you ready for this?
I'm so ready.
Here we go. All right.
Okay.
The dreadful day finally came where I had to say goodbye to the Englishman who changed my perception of all men.
Oh man. Okay.
Of
So
course, it was an Englishman.
he
It
was.
was.
So I was writing the book when I was writing this chapter.
Hmm.
Um, this Englishman really made an impression on me and kind of set my expectations up. He was older, he was established,
Right.
he was a creative, and he kind of kickstarted this like new fire within me to be like, oh, like maybe I can do it, because like he was
Right.
also a writer as well. And man, oh man, that was kind of like something really out of a movie in terms of like just the given circumstance of like he was here for a short time, we were
Yeah.
doing a show, and I was like living with the playwright and the
Yeah.
director at the time, and it was honestly like just a house of artists, like as
Yeah.
as pretentious as that sounds, like,
No.
but man, like we were working nonstop, we went home, we worked nonstop again, and yeah, and just to have to be, this is just so odd, but just to be like desired by somebody like so quickly was like
Right
very
on.
encapsulating. And yeah,
No, I did.
turns out,
I like because there were like like there were 2, 3 chapters that were like pretty rough for you. So then when you meet this guy, it's just like yes, and then like and also I think especially as actors, like that moment where you're just like kind of like crashing in your friend's NYC apartment. That's always like a great feeling. So yeah, no, that was a great way to end the book, I thought.
yeah, it's
Um,
the happy ending, like to like, yeah, you're trying to root for, like, ideally in my third
yeah,
person perspective, like you're trying to root for this person to like maybe get it by the next
yeah,
chapter.
yeah. So it's interesting. So like you actually had like someone that was like kind of like a positive mentor in both respects. Like normally it's one or the other. So like I was actually curious, is there any like acting stuff that you saw from him and you were like, actually I do want that. I'm gonna use that also.
In terms of okay. So my influence, I think honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know
Mm,
because I think looking at it, just for context, like I wasn't involved as an actor in this show.
mm,
Um, but looking at it, I'm very like cold when I'm very cold when
cold.
in I'm not like acting.
Oh, okay.
I'm very like
Yeah,
logical and technical when I'm looking at something from the outside, because you can't have that emotion when you're worried about like when's the sound cue happening, are these props together. That's just
right.
my personal like
No, that's
perspective
cool.
on it.
No, that's a
But
good answer.
I
I'm
know,
feeling it.
I'm sorry I didn't give you the answer that like I could ideally give you,
No,
being
it's
like,
fine. I'm not
oh,
disappointed.
I'm not disappointed or anything. It's fine.
No,
It's okay. Yep.
honestly, I want to. This next line is easily one of my favorite parts in the book. Uh, this is a. I think this is from Derek. Uh, he denied the offer, got out of the car, and walked into the woods that led to his house.
Honestly, like what a vague thing, like out of context, like so vague. Like
I just
what
want I just want you to know that when you are a guy and you're a teenager and you break up with a girl and then you walk through the woods to get back to your house, that walk is the best thing that has ever happened. It's just like,
I
oh, it's just like
what
out
an
in nature
emo
and free.
an emotional moment, like just to be like, I'm done with her, and then he was never seen again.
Oh,
No.
just so ice cold. You couldn't
Ice
even find him if
fucking
you
cold.
wanted to. It's like
I but
because
here's
he's
the
so great at tag.
He's like, damn, I knew I should have checked behind that tree, you
Oh
idiot.
man.
Derek. God damn it, Derek.
Yeah, maybe he was wearing camo that day just to be extra
Man,
prepared.
that would be so imagine full on camouflage. He came
Yeah,
in. I was like, hey, and why are you wearing so much camouflage? And then he breaks up with me and just sprints into the night.
I'm for it. I'm for like an AU Derek sequel. I think where he just like goes out into the woods.
He's never left. Like, I'll just
He's
write another
never
book.
yeah.
He's never left.
He's just texting from the woods. All right. All right. Next line. And even though fate would have it that I was to end up with Matthew, I was yearning for Cam.
Do you know what's so weird?
What?
Um, One of those people, Cam, just followed me on Instagram
I was
last night.
whoa.
I don't know. Fate would have it, maybe. Um,
Development.
it's a development.
Development.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, like in terms of your own personal experience of like you being set up with like, I'm always, the quirky best friend, and everybody else around me is like the most beautiful woman, the smartest, the most sought after. And what do you are you flashing lights at me?
All right. All right. The customer that I was ringing up gave me an encouraging glance and I blushed. Do you
Fourth of
remember?
July. Yes, 4th of July. Um, I was pursued by a youth, uh, and he came around my register. I was working at ShopRite at the time, and he asked for my number, and
Yeah.
everyone working was like, you know what, Emily, you should go for it. And I was like, honestly, okay. And yeah, I just said go for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's something very liberating about not even knowing what you're
Going
going to
for it.
say, just
Yeah.
totally going for it. I don't know.
I'm sorry I flashed the light at you or
Why did
whatever I
you
was doing.
flash the light
I'm
at
sorry
me?
about that. All right, let's in a world where ghosting is the new norm and seeing each other is a watered down version of being in a relationship, Open explores the bad, the ugly, and the tragically humorous stories of the author's love life. No, I did that cuz it's tough to read from someone directly that they're the best friend and they're stuck as the best friend. It's like a bummer, you know. But I think everyone's felt that way.
No, but yeah, it's like of course. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, everybody I think has their own opinions of themselves. Yeah, total bummer.
yeah,
But yeah, it's a weird scenario where you think of yourself as like in terms of a hierarchy, in terms of, I say in terms of a lot. It's very formal talk. But yeah, you start to think of yourself as like in this sort of your own circle, and those are the people that you are allowed to have a relationship with, and then the other people are unreachable. So yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think you know, uh, I think literally everyone at some point in some version is like, I need to break out of this like thing that I'm doing, like this state of being, this like whatever, like I like I try not to think of myself as like the best friend anymore, but like I've definitely felt that way before for sure, you know. But like I don't know, I think that, like one of my closest friends, he's like 2 or 3 feet taller than me. So it's just like, you know, like if a girl is into a tall guy, it's like, well, it's like we're here together. It's like it's
Or you could put on heels and call it a day.
I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. Yeah.
Option B, put on heels and call it a day. I'm getting that tattooed on my back, and that's all I have to say about it.
Wait, you're getting option B tattooed on your back?
No, no, just put on heels and call it a day. No, option B, honestly, option B would be a sick tattoo. Just that, option B.
Good rap name, good book title, good tattoo. I'm for it. Absolutely. All right, excellent. All right, terrific. We explored that subject. I don't think you're a best friend. You're ready for main character, leading lady type roles. Um
Thanks.
all right, so yeah, that was all right. Actually, I earmarked this one in particular. So this is from the same thing where this is the guy who asked you out while you were working at ShopRite, and you planned this date out really well. So here we go. Dan and I zoomed off down the street to Black Cow, which is a coffee shop. Okay, here's what's going to happen. It's 1:40 now. You're meeting him at 2. We're going to park the car and I'm going to go in first and warn whoever is working about the situation. I'm going to order my coffee and sit down at the seat nearest to the window, okay? Come in 5 minutes. I looked at Dan like a deer in the headlights, and I was about to call the whole thing off. Dan was out of the car, making his way into Black Cow. The minutes seemed to drag even slower than they did before, but eventually it came time. So, how, so like, how often do you do that? Do you still do that, or are you just like, Dan, go in first?
Oh my God. Like, he's definitely just a person to be like, just go do it. And he's just always been a person. He is my dearest and best friend, where
Awesome.
he'll just push me into the water and be like, learn to swim now, you need to swim now. And yeah, like fully, he's fully there for me. But like, it's so funny in terms of like that chapter. When I was trying to get his attention, trying to seek out help, he was just nowhere. He was just like in his own world. Like, he's like, you're okay. You're nothing's gonna happen. You're fine now. Yeah. The best support system you could ask for in a best friend.
Yeah. All right, spoiler alert, the chapter ends with you going, he fucking blew a straw in my face.
I will never forget the shock value. And just like,
yeah,
I was frozen still. Like,
yeah,
imagine, like, you're just talking, you're having a good time, and like suddenly you have the paper of the straw being blown into your face. Why could you walk me through what you think that person was trying to say?
I don't know what he was trying to say. Like, there were a couple things where, like, there was some stuff I was like, oh, okay, that's awful, like, he's an idiot, but I can see where he's coming from, I guess. But the straw thing, I was just like, that was just like, I don't know what he was trying to say. I guess I don't know. I think, like, I don't know. Like, I honestly, like, I tried to think about it. I have no idea, you know?
It's
I guess he
Unless
just
he was
hates you.
like, he probably just hated me.
Yeah,
He was
like,
just like, this girl sucks.
it's like,
Like,
yeah. I don't even like this coffee shop.
I'm gonna do that to every
Wait,
what
no,
like a
he
quick
didn't
and
like
easy.
coffee though, right?
Yeah, homie did not like coffee. Why would I why?
Yeah,
If we had full knowledge of us going to the coffee shop,
right.
honestly, everybody go to Black Cow in Pleasantville, New York. It is the best. This is not an ad, but
I was actually curious if it was the best.
it's so good.
I'm
So
probably
good.
gonna go.
It's
Yeah,
incredible.
right.
So yeah, he didn't like coffee. So why would we go?
And you know what? I'm actually gonna, like, let's back up a bit here, because he comes in and, you're still into it. Thumbs up. He uh he says he doesn't like coffee. You offer him other drink options
Of course.
and
I'm
even
not gonna
describe it. Yeah,
Yeah, like,
you know.
I mean, I'm basically an employee at this
Yeah,
point. Like, just
yeah,
yeah, and just completely unenthused. Like,
yeah,
very like, this person was like, nah,
yeah. With
very.
the classic line, by the way, they have really good sodas here. They have grenadine in them.
They have grenadine.
Very
They have
thoughtful.
uh,
Yeah.
who. I'm just trying to provide options. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
When I read that part, I was like, you know what? I forgot that soda has grenadine in them. And like, it's just like this little fact.
no,
Those
but
little facts. That's
they're
what makes
Italian.
great books great books.
They're the Italian sodas, like the grenadine and the seltz, the and Sprite. No, I don't know.
I'm not saying no to you. I'm saying no to Alan, or whatever his name was. The straw.
I don't even remember his actual name, so it might
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
might have been
So actually, this is interesting, is like one of the best dates in the book technically was actually a Tinder date. So how do you feel about Tinder now, with time and wisdom?
with time and wisdom. I specifically don't use Tinder.
Mm,
I use Hinge, which
wow.
it's
Wow.
very good. But in terms of like online dating and stuff, I
Mm,
think I've had some good successes. Um, yeah, and especially during weirdly in quarantine
right.
too,
Right.
it somehow you get very personal and very intimate, and I use that like loosely, very quickly.
Yeah.
So like there's something in like the it's do or die mentality where people are like, okay, I'm emotionally available now, it's now or never. Like, I can be I can be available, I'm emotionally available for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I actually didn't think we were going to go there, but yeah. How was that? Maybe wondering if you were going to die element. Would you say that was a plus or a minus for your relationship?
um, I think it's like, well, I might as well die. Like, if I'm gonna die, it's like, yeah, I think you gotta have some courage, especially now. There's no time
Boom.
like the present, I always
Boom.
say.
Yes. All right. Heard. All right. Actually, you know what? I was thinking that this could be a time capsule episode where I ask the guest their personal theories of time.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yep.
wait.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Do you have thoughts? Like, I can build
Great
on your
question.
thoughts.
Do I have thoughts? Yes. I didn't even I wasn't trying to do that. I'm sorry. I actually
uh,
want to hear your thoughts first
got it.
so I can quietly organize my thoughts because right now it's like a pretty blank slate. I really prepared for this one. I like I researched, I read the book. So yeah,
I applaud you.
actually okay, I have my thoughts about time now. So but you go first.
Okay. So, my roommate brought this up a couple of weeks ago, I think, that it's been stuck with me in
Mm,
terms of like dimensions. I guess this is like relative to time,
yeah.
where like we're in a different dimension when we sleep, we're in a different dimension when we're awake, and then like we're in a different dimension when we don't exist anymore in essentially. But I think time, I mean, like like there's so many different ways to measure time, and
Yes.
I have just so many questions of like people's perceptions and perspectives on time, because why does this version of time ring true? And then there's always my question of daylight savings. I'm like, what the fuck ever? Like, I don't care about daylight savings. It'll be
Yeah.
dark when it's dark. Um,
Well, yeah, when you jump forward an hour, that day always is awful. You're just like, ugh, you just don't
and
want it.
wait. So this also brings me to another thing.
Yeah.
In viewing time, there was like a TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but my friends are,
Mm.
and it was like, if you push a meeting back, the meeting starts at 12 and you push the meeting back 2 hours, what time does the meeting start?
Wait. All right, do it again.
Okay, ready? I want
Yeah.
you to answer. So if we have a meeting at 12, we push back the meeting by 2 hours. What time does the meeting start?
Right, because is back or is back forward?
What's your answer?
My answer is 2 p.m.
That's my answer, and that is the
Right
correct
on.
answer. I don't care. Literally,
Don't care. Yeah.
I don't care about your 10 a.m. I do not care about your 10 a.m. It is 2, because, and
2.
then there's like a scientist theory of like, there's like the egocentric part of your mentality where it's bringing time to you versus like time being away from you. So that's
Oh.
why. I don't know. What are your thoughts on time?
Well, actually, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look up these science thoughts because who wouldn't want to bring time to you, you know? Like if someone said push back and then said that that meant 10 a.m. and then followed up with, no, read this article from this scientist. I'm trying to bring time to me. That would be very different than just pointlessly getting in an argument with me about whether it's 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. If they had research backed
Right.
evidence, that would be different. But so my personal thoughts about time, I have a bunch of thoughts about time. I think way too much about like the world, but the for time, I would say I actually think a lot about time in terms of writing, actually. So it's like how long you spend on a project. Should you speed up? Are you too slow? How much value is there in pretty much dragging your feet on a project? And then why does it work? Like, how come if you like just leave something for 2 weeks and suddenly something like knocks loose, you know, it's weird.
And like for whatever reason my brain went, absence makes the heart grow fonder, which I think works with time in terms of writing, because if you have a project and you work and you work and you work,
Right.
it doesn't become fresh anymore. You don't, it's never going to get reignited in the same way it started. So I think just letting it simmer and fester
Yeah.
uh, is helpful, because also, like, you're experiencing life, time is passing, you have friends, you have family, you're you know experiencing life and events and other things that can influence your writing. So
Right.
like, instead of just being so laser focused on one thing, if you just step away for however long, I mean, it really depends on your
Yeah.
however long,
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah. No, it really can work. It's true. So what about time with this? So like we did that show, the Shakespeare show in like 2015, and then like I know, just start screaming.
Just screaming.
It's crazy. But then so what was like kind of when you started writing this book, was it like sort of like, oh, like big time whatever, like I haven't done anything in 6 months, like here it comes world, or like what was the attitude when you start, and how long did it take to write the book?
Oh my God. Yeah, that's so funny. It's like, I haven't done anything. I'm gonna write a book now.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think in terms of uh I think this, as like pretentious as this sounds, like this idea like came to me, not like the idea like was festering in my mind. It just like
Yeah.
popped in my head one day and was like, hey, you have all of these like stories that make you you, and you should document them and put them on a piece of paper, because there are stories that might be interesting to people.
Yeah.
um so I mean, just recalling that was very therapeutic, and kind of mapping out what stories I wanted to tell when.
Hmm.
Some took longer than others because I was like, oh, like it's been so long, like do I remember that correctly? Like I am like a firm believer of like trying to stick with the truth, like remembering every single person's like words that they said to me ever.
Yeah.
So some parts
Right.
like going back took a little longer, but it took me roughly a year to write it. um
Right.
and just like I don't know like about you, but in terms of like my methodology, like I need the first chapter to be perfect in order to move on to the second chapter, and then and
Oh,
so
cool.
on. Yeah.
Well, that first chapter is really good, so I
Thank
guess,
you.
no, really, yeah, like that was like a really cool start to the book. Pretty funny, like, but, and like it is interesting because like I don't know, like almost the emotional journey of it. It's like it's almost like, like up until like page 30 or 40, it's like very much like, oh yeah, it's high school, like whatever, and then like it just like gets like real, like, you know,
The emotional graph of my state of being, it's like doop,
yeah.
doop, doop.
Yeah. Okay, I actually had one more quote I wanted to go over. Um we were parked outside of the theater and decided to just break in and stay on the green room couch. Now, for that in particular, uh Were you worried at all that there would be another couple on the green room couch?
Honestly,
Very real scenario.
that's actually a real thought. Yeah, like, I mean, not necessarily another couple, but probably, some people working late at night, or the janitor, just like Pervy Jan. I'm gonna name I'm gonna name all janitors Pervy Jan. Like,
Pervy Jan. I think you've got your next viral hit, Pervy Jan.
That could be a tune. That could be a cartoon. That could be.
Oh, that would be a great cartoon. That would be a great cartoon. I don't know. We might get the green light. We might get the green light on Pervy Jan.
Pervy Jan 2021, hitting the theaters near you, hitting each clean floor near you.
Don't forget.
Don't forget.
That would be a perfect catchphrase for Pervy Jan. Don't forget.
I want like the movie trailer of Pervy Jan to be like, it's not only aisle 8 that's being cleaned up this summer. It's like
I just want him to get like framed against an explosion.
We're gonna do big things to Pervy Jan.
To and with and for Pervy Jan.
He who that rich Pervy Jan.
Anyway, so after almost like quickly after the book came out, you started doing like this web series of like performance art pieces. And I was like, this stuff would like show up for me on social media basically. And like from the outside looking in, I was like, this is a crazy time in Emily's life. She's just like, she like puts out a memoir about her dating life, and then like starts like doing these like, like avant-garde like performance art pieces, like in public, by the way, like you're filming and you're like, throwing around white sheets and stuff. Like people must have been walking by. Like, what was that like?
Oh yeah. The specific moment of my life, that was like right when I graduated. And so I come from a background of very avant-garde, like physical theater land, of like everything that you see that they make fun of, like in the black box, like moving boxes and all of that.
Yeah.
Like that's where I hail from.
Yeah.
And so that's all I fell in love with. Like at school, it was just kind of making performance art, or using what I learned to influence my own work and what I wanted to do. And so my like niche, or what like at the time, was kind of just short, concise thoughts, and just like one main idea, and kind of just dive headfirst into it. Like I did a bunch of different things, but yeah, just simple kind of concepts, and then making them flourish.
Yeah. So like, how did it feel like when you were like done with that? Were you just like, oh, that was like a waste of 3 months? Or were you like, oh, did you learn something really random? Did something random come from that? Like, how do you think about that now?
I think it's like, to look back, I was like, oh, Emily, look at you, and your little ideas and stuff. And it's really, it's like nostalgic in a way of like, you see this like ambitious person, like trying to, find their footing in their art form. And that influences my work right now. Like me and my creative partner, we were just talking about how we want to do more, since I'm getting more involved in the film world now, because you gotta, you have to. We both found passion in like theatrical film and cinematic theater. So that intertwined, I kind of like reference back. That's so funny that like you reference like these little like webisode things. Like I've referenced that back in my life, being like, oh, I always wanted to do this. Like I always wanted to bring like theater to film in my way and very abstractly. And I was scared about that. Like I didn't know if it was going to be understood in the way that I wanted it to, if it was too inaccessible for people to be like, I don't understand that. But yeah.
No, it's cool. Like you just like, it's just like, yeah, I'm doing this. Like, I liked also that you were like, in your social media posts, you would really be like, you should watch this. Like, you should actually watch this. I'm actually like making, like you weren't just like here, like you were just like, you actually like repped these performance art pieces. So that was cool. Very cool.
Thanks,
so like,
man. Thanks.
Yeah, totally. Because honestly, like I was in a noise band in college, and sometimes I'd be up there. I just be like, I hate myself so much.
Like, why, God?
I am screaming so loud, and I'm not enjoying it. And no one else is either.
I've never heard the phrase or term noise band. That's very literal.
There's so much stuff I can send you. There are actual bands that just make like static at different frequencies. And believe it or not, when you listen to it, it's so soothing.
Yeah, of course.
If you listen to static like slowly changing for like 30 minutes, oh, you just feel amazing.
Yeah, I would feel so at peace with that. Send that to me. Oh man.
I will. All right. Nice. All right. So what's the future look like? What do you what's going on? What's happening next?
Oh, cool. Oh, what's happening next? I'm directing a web series called Roommates, which is the title that we've trademarked. So Yahoo on that. Yeah, I know. Talk about, how many people have made some content in the form of like anything involving with roommates, but now we got the trademark, baby. We're all in on it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So just
I don't even
directing.
Understand that.
Neither do I. My producer was like, we got it trademarked. And I was like, great. I don't know how you did that, but great, cool. Like,
so like literally like no one else can have a show called Roommates now.
I'm guessing, or at least just the domain. I
honestly don't know how I feel about that, Emily. You took the word roommates and now like no one can use. What about roommates in love or like something like that?
I think you can use, or just roommate, no S.
What about roommates, like two or three S's?
Yeah, with a Z at the end. I think that's okay. I'll allow that.
I would go there. I just come up with a anyway. So that's really interesting, and I'll have to we'll have to find a way to continue that thread about trademarking. But I'm sort of doing this like 10-minute series, and maybe you can like jump on for 10 minutes and like just tell me all about trademarking. Because
I mean, I honestly wish I could tell you that. I could tell you a lot about producing your own work. I can talk about that all day. But trademarking, I'll do my own research on that and I'll get back to
you. Yeah, let's compare notes.
We're like, oh,
like you got Googled it, yeah. and I might call a law. I've been meaning to like call someone and just to ask some generic questions for like 3 straight weeks. I'm slowly circling, trying to like maybe like create a catchphrase or get a shirt made. So that's I have such a great idea for a shirt. It's like burning a hole in my brain. I'm like honestly wondering.
What is it?
Oh, I'll tell you off camera, but I gotta. I don't know if I can do it. All right, you know what? Actually, so this will be a record. Everyone will know that it was heard here first. Okay. No, I can't.
Oh my God.
I can't.
Right. So sad. You were like, I can't.
All right. Thanks for watching. This is called Hear About It podcast. Emily, do you want to have any sign off? What do you want to leave the world with? You have this platform, you have this moment in time.
Okay.
What do you want to say?
All right. If you want any more info, just follow me on Instagram at Emily Ann Banks. It's 2 N's, no E, because I am not that type of Ann. Go out there, listen to Party Rock Anthem because it's great and it'll start your day off right. Drink lots of water, stay hydrated.
Yeah, when Emily recommends a song, she's right on the money. So.
I'm right on the money. Honestly, it'll fulfill your sweet 16 needs, and just in life in general. But
okay, so that's an idea of mine that I will tell you for free, like no problem. I'm gonna share it here first. I wanted to do a spoken word poem of me planning my sweet 16, just like looking exactly like this and just like glaring at people in the audience when I do it. And I'm just like talking way too long about what my sweet 16 is gonna be like. That's my dream.
Can you please, like, honestly, like, you should throw one now. What's stopping you? I
have a draft. All right. Where is this? 1 second.
You're being actually serious? I swear to God.
No, really. I have like this like creepy sweet 16 poem in a notebook somewhere.
Find it right now. Find it.
This might take a second, honestly. I'll have to like cut this down in time.
Oh yeah, no, you cut it down. I'm here.
Oh man. No.
No.
All right. Hang on. You know what? I am going to check another room, and then you'll at least know that I tried. I'll be right back.
Yes.
Oh wait. Okay, here we go.
All right. Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. All right. This is crazy. I actually like got a poet who's gonna come on. So, this poem is called. All right, I'm gonna try and do it like what's our Pervy Janitor's name?
Pervy Jan.
Pervy Jan. All right. I'm gonna be in character as Pervy Jan.
Got it. Oh, right. How fitting.
Totally. All right. So this poem is called "The Night of My Sweet 16." All right. There will be streamers in the halls on the day of my sweet 16. Queen for a day, healthcare for all on the day of my sweet 16. The man behind the curtain, the wind beneath my wings, the chicken in my pot will know that I've become 16. And when the night gets wild and the champagne is flowing, the highways will be empty and we'll go 90 in a limousine. Just when it's getting crazy, I'll say, hey, take it easy. I'm 16. Frogs will eat the grass or whatever they like to eat. There's a conspiracy at my father's company. I'm going to get to the bottom of this with my 3 closest friends. They can't abandon me, for I am 16. I know why the big caged bird sings. It's because it ain't 16. Chirp, chirp, tweet, tweet. Guess what? I'm busy making necklaces for the homecoming dance or whatever I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know. Get out of my room.
Pervy Jan, that's literally going to be, I have big plans for Pervy Jan. He will be not singing, he will be reading that spoken word. He will be reciting it at a recital in the school that he is janitoring.
And to be clear, he's not like on the list to recite the poem.
No, he just is like, I have something.
Yeah. Yeah,
like I got something now.
Or like maybe like they call up a new kid who is going to go, but the new kid isn't there. there's like a smattering of applause, and he like sees his moment. Just he's got it in his pocket, you know. Wow, that was a lot.
That was
that was
I
Emily, like this was a true emotional journey.
it sure was one heck of a ride.
I was gonna like throw you to the wolves and have you read poetry that maybe you had like written or something. But
Pervy
now,
Jan. I mean,
I
like,
really bared my soul.
you really did.
Yeah,
Look who's
yeah,
laughing now. Made you do that.
yeah, yeah. I guess I don't know. That would be a weird open mic. I would be very curious how that would have done at an open mic. I think I still have to know. So anyway,
I would
um,
love to know.
I gotta stop recording, Emily.
All
I'm
right.
gonna say like a better goodbye at some point. But I just gotta hit pause on this whole
Do
crazy
it.
thing.
Please hit pause.
Thanks very much for watching. Please tune in next time.